In this video, I'm going to show you how we can generate a Raritan PDU date and time accuracy and configuration report using the JSON RPC SDK. Okay, I'm going to start off. I've got a directory called datecheck, and in here we've got a subdirectory Raritan, which is contains the software development kit, the SDK. I've got a script that I've written called datecheck.py in Python. And there's another file called hostlist.txt. We'll come to that in a minute. I'm going to call one of my utility programs called setPW, and what this will do is it allows me to type in a password, and then the password that I've typed in will be assigned to the environment variable APAS in this case. I use this utility just so you don't see what the password is on the screen on the video. Now, once I've got that set up, I can run my Python datecheck program. I specify a command line argument called PDU list. I'm going to specify the name of my Raritan PDU. And I'm also going to tell it that the admin password for that PDU is contained in the environment variable APAS that I've just set up above. And we run that. It says it's accessing PDU px2 study, and then it finishes. Let's take a look in the directory and see what we've got now. Now there's a new file called datecheck.csv. Let's type out the content of that. So that's definitely a CSV file. It's a little bit tricky to interpret that, so I'm going to use a freeware utility called CSV file view. Give it the name of the CSV file. And this shows the CSV file. If you've got Excel in your system, then use that. That'll be just as good, may be better. Now, what's happened is it's produced a lovely little CSV file for us here. So it's got some nice headings. So we've got the PDU name that we logged into, px2 study. It told us what the time now was. That was the time as far as my laptop was concerned. It's told me the time that was set on the PDU. Oh, yeah, so dates right. Times, yeah. Oh, here we go. The accuracy comment says it's to within 8 seconds. That's actually pretty good. But it also gives us more information. The UTC offset is 0. Well, that makes sense because the time zone is set to UTC. DST info is daylight savings times information available for this time zone. Yes, it is. And are we using the auto DST setting? Well, that's showing it's disabled. The protocol at the time is being set by static. I have set it manually, so the NTP server entries don't actually, they're not applicable because we're not using NTP. So if we actually have a look at the PDU concerned, px2 study here, if I go into device settings, date and time, then we can see that the device time, yeah, it's 10:22. That's the time in UTC. So it's fairly accurate. Now, that's all well and good, but I could have just logged into the PDU and gone on and just looked at the time and checked it myself. But the great power of the datecheck utility is that we can actually specify more than one PDU on the command line. So let's go px2 comms room, add that in as well, and I've got another one, px2 data hall. Run it again, goes through, does all three. We look now, we've got the datecheck CSV file. That's a little bit bigger this time, so let's use the CSV file checker again, and again we can see it's got the details for 3 of them now, so that's actually good. So the real power, this is where we come into host list now. So if I go, let's show you notepad hostlist.txt. This is just a file. It's got the host names of lots and lots of px2s. There's over 300 in there. So the script becomes even more powerful because now instead of typing all of the PDU names in and separating them with commas on the command line, I can just use this notation, put in a little plus sign, hostlist.txt, and that tells the program to, instead of getting the PDU names from the command line, the plus sign says go and look at that file and read the PDU names out of that file. So now it goes off and it's accessing all of those PDUs. That's obviously going to take a little bit of time, so there will be a short intermission. Okay, so the script is finished. Let's have a look and see what we've got. We've got a datecheck.csv file. That's a lot bigger. Let's see what that looks like. So this time it's looking quite interesting. As we've got accuracy report here, so time accurate, then incorrect time, incorrect month. There are even some here, incorrect year, so they're running at 2010 something. So we've also got all of the other details about the time zone in there as well. So this report allows you to very quickly, and so we could, if we sort by column, we can identify the big problems first of all, and then we've got the time accurate down too. So getting this information in CSV format, opening it up with a viewer like this, or more commonly in Excel, allows you to very quickly home in on any PDUs which have got issues with their current time setting or their configuration. For example, if all your PDUs were supposed to be in UTC Dublin, then if any were coming up with a different time zone, that again would highlight quite quickly and you'd be able to go and address that. So that's a very good use of it. Now, everyone's probably saying, why aren't you using NTP? So, because that'll solve a lot of the problems. So let me log into this server. PDU rather. Let's go to device settings, date and time. We'll switch on the DTC and then we'll say synchronize with the time server. Let's just check the server's okay. It is. Close, save those settings. Now let's just rerun the report again, but just against, rather than going through the whole host list again. Let's just look at that particular PDU. Go through very quickly. Look at this again. So now we've got it. This is more like it. It's now accurate 1 second. We've got the right time zone. We've got the DST info. DST is now showing as enabled. The protocol is NTP, and we've got an NTP server. We haven't specified a second NTP server because this is on a test demo LAN. So, utility there that we can use to check the date and time accuracy and configuration of any number of Raritan PDUs that you like. It's all done through using the API, as I say. If you have any questions or would like to get in contact, my details are up on the screen. And as always, thank you for watching.